Hello and welcome to my training Zoom room. My name is Pandora and I'm going to show you a couple of things about pivot tables and just trying to build them, some little nuanced things that you might like to know about. I'm in my data sales and I'm looking at this repetitive data over and over and over again. Okay. I'm in the data set. So on one of these cells, all right, great way to be able to tell that there's no blanks in the column is to press Control down. And it should jump all the way to the bottom. You can be able to scroll a little further, right? And Control up will take us up. It's a good idea to have a title for every column and a title for every row. And if you're in doubt, you can always press Control A to pick up all of the data set. But I'm just going to stay up here at the very top. I'm going to discourage you from using the entire worksheet, or you're going to end up with a category called blanks, and you're going to be fighting with it the entire time you use your pivot table. So I'm just staying in my data set here, and I'm ready to build. On the Insert tab, we do have pivot table and recommended pivot tables. And if I go into the recommended ones, it does show me some different options that I might decide to play with, which is kind of cool. I'm going to cancel. It's a good idea to have a plan in mind. And right now I just need a table that's going to put all of this together into one big summary. That's what a pivot table really is. It's a summary report. And I'm just going to take you through some of the ways to be able to build it. Let's first start with the pivot table. So pivot table, it's got my data set for me. I could pull from something like an Access database or a SQL Server if I wanted to. We could do it on a new worksheet or keep it on this one if I wanted, or even a different one within the same book. I'm happy going to a new worksheet for now. I'm going to click OK. All right. So in the intro, the very first one of these, I showed you that we could drag these down to the different sections. What I'm going to do now is actually zoom in just a little bit, and I'm going to pull this pivot table field list free so it's a little closer to the middle of the screen. So I'm coming up here where it says Pivot Table Fields. I'm going to click and drag it over. And this window is resizable, right? So I can grow and shrink. I could even change the layout of it from this little gear if I wanted to. Okay. While I'm in the pivot table, I have these pivot table field lists and these pivot table tools, Analyze and Design. What I want to do is click outside of the pivot table, and all of that goes away. There's no pivot table tools. There's no field list. All right. To get those back, just click back in the pivot table. If you accidentally close this, that little X, all right, I'm still in my pivot table. There is a button up in the toolbar, but I find it much easier just to right click inside the table and tell it to show the field list, right? Because if you right click and it says hide, it means it's open somewhere, maybe on another screen, but right. We want to be able to see it. I can drag these down, and when I do, I get a unique list of that category from that field on the other worksheet. I can click the checkbox, and it will add it to the rows. I can uncheck to make it go away, and I can right-click on it and tell it where to add it, and I can add to the rows, just like that. Okay, so there's 3 ways to do everything. You drag it, we can right click on it, or we can use the checkboxes. Now the checkboxes will always put things into the rows unless it's a number field, and number fields get put into the values. And you don't always want that if you have a zip code or a fund code, you may not want it in the values. That's okay, we just pick it up and move it around down here, right? Or we use our right click and tell it exactly where we want it to go. So I've got my quarters of my items and my sum of the numbers sold. I'm going to put my size and colors here. Again, I can drag them or right click, and I'm adding to the column titles. And if you accidentally put them into the rows, well, again, you can drag it or click on the arrow to get the menu, and you can move it from here. Let me move this out of the way. This is a beautiful summary report for everything based on the other data set. I'm going to clear that and do that again a little faster. Let me clear all. I want quarter, item, size, color, number sold. I want you to think about how long that would have taken you to do by hand. These are amazing.